A story from the UK has captured global attention after shocking scenes from Oxfordshire went viral. Images revealed more than 100,000 tons of hazardous waste dumped near a river in the middle of the English countryside. For many people around the world, it seemed almost impossible that such a large environmental disaster could occur in a country known for strict rules and long-standing protections for rural areas. Yet when examining how waste management is enforced across the UK, the situation becomes less surprising. The case in Oxfordshire is not isolated. In many regions across the country, communities have become increasingly frustrated with the rise of illegal dumping and the lack of consistent action to stop it. A clear example of this ongoing issue can be seen in major cities such as London. A public car park shown in one widely shared clip has effectively turned into a dumping ground. Rubbish is stacked in heaps, bags lie torn apart across the ground, and large abandoned household items are scattered without any concern for the environment or public hygiene. The problem often links back to a specific group of individuals who treat public areas carelessly, but it also reflects weak enforcement. When people believe they can dump waste without facing consequences, the problem inevitably expands. And when local councils lack adequate resources or the authority to act quickly, the cycle continues without meaningful interruption. The troubling part is how fast this kind of negligence spreads. Once an area becomes known as a place where waste can be left without repercussions, it attracts even more illegal dumping. Within a short time, what begins as a single ignored site grows into a widespread environmental and public health challenge. These incidents matter not only because the scenes are unpleasant, but because they point to deeper failures in oversight, accountability, and enforcement at both local and national levels. The shocking events in Oxfordshire surprised many people globally, but the underlying issues have existed for years. Without stronger action and a clearer national waste management strategy, illegal dumping will continue to spread from rural riverbanks to city streets and car parks. The clips of abandoned waste highlight the reality on the ground. What appears to be isolated mismanagement actually reflects systemic issues that have been allowed to grow for a long time. If the United Kingdom aims to prevent such environmental disasters in the future, stronger oversight and clearer responsibility are necessary. Without that, communities across the country will continue to suffer the consequences of neglect, weak enforcement, and a lack of accountability. In another major UK development, a High Court judge has ruled that the segregation of a convicted terrorist from other inmates violated his human rights. Babu, who received a life sentence in 2021 for terrorism offenses and plotting a lone wolf knife attack during the coronavirus lockdown, was kept in prolonged isolation after an incident involving another high-profile inmate. Mr. Justice Sheldon ruled that the segregation measures imposed on Babu were unjustifiable and breached his fundamental rights under the European Convention on Human Rights. Babu had been isolated after Hashim Abedi, whose brother carried out the Manchester Arena bombing, allegedly assaulted several prison officers in April. Following this incident, Babu was moved between multiple facilities, including a separation center designed to house inmates with extremist views who could pose a risk of radicalizing others or disrupting operations. His legal team argued that other than a short 8-week period where he interacted with one inmate, he remained almost completely cut off from fellow prisoners. According to court documents, for around 4 months he could only communicate with others through his cell window and was allowed just over an hour outside his cell each day. The isolation had severe effects on his mental health. Babu reported paranoia, extreme fear, and deep despondency. He experienced auditory hallucinations, including a growling voice in his head, and medical experts testified that he suffered both auditory and visual hallucinations along with PTSD and severe depression. According to the judge, these mental health issues were worsened significantly by the long period of segregation. In a detailed ruling, Mr. Justice Sheldon stated that the suffering Babu experienced went far beyond what can be considered an inevitable consequence of segregation. He determined that the Ministry of Justice failed to provide essential therapeutic support despite Babu's history of trauma. The court found that no reasonable decision-maker would have ignored the need for a crucial mental health assessment. The judge indicated he would consider what remedial measures should follow, including potential damages. Babu, who called himself the masked menace, had previously purchased swords, knives, body armor, and balaclavas while preparing for an attack. He told a court he had intended these items for a parody video and hoped to create a character similar to a rap artist. Security officials maintain that he remains an extremely dangerous individual. The case highlights ongoing tensions between public safety, prison management, and human rights obligations, showing how difficult it can be to balance security concerns with the legal duty to protect prisoner welfare.